Welcome to Jigs Up Crappie Fishing, your chance to ride along with professional guides and tournament fishermen as they discuss and share tips and tricks designed to put more fish in your boat.
Going to do a little pre-fishing today out at Lake Palestine. Waiting on Mr. Clay Gann to get here. As you can see in the background, it is going to be a glorious day. Man, we don't get this kind of weather many times when we plan something, so hope you'll stay tuned. We're going to be out. I would imagine he's going to want to start running the deep channels looking for structure, but I'll wait for him to tell us. Next time you see us, we'll be on the water. All right, buddy. Give me a little rundown on what's the game plan today.
All right, today we are at Lake Palestine. We've got a tournament here next month. Today is the 13th of January 2022. We're gonna go out and get in the river channel. On this lake and a lot of the other ones I fished, that's where I start anyway. We're out here at the Village Resort, and we're just hunting for big crappie today. Normally I guide a little pretty far down south of here. We're gonna go out and get in the river channel and hunt for big crappie. We may fish as shallow as 10 to 15 foot of water today. I don't know if there's crappie there right now. I'm guessing there might be. The bait at some of the other lakes I fish on is starting to move back up north. And once they do that, the fish will follow. And the water's still in the, let's see what it is here this morning. Water's 56 degrees. And we've had some somewhat cool weather here lately, but it still, like today is supposed to be 70 something degrees in January. And so these fish will live a little shallower, especially if you get into some dirtier water. You can still catch them pretty shallow at this time of year.
What's the water level on this lake right now?
It's pretty full. It's near full. It's I think it's like 0.25 low.
Oh wow!
Like it's right there in their pool.
Do they keep this pretty constant level?
This is a spillway,
so it just runs on its own.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't know. I know it's got a spillway, but I don't know if it's also got some kind of a gate that lets some water out.
Yeah.
Because of the nature. But it's got a spillway, so it doesn't normally get very high because of that spillway. If they get rain, it's just going.
It's going on out, yeah.
They're not holding it back and letting everybody downstream know they're fixing to open.
So you get a heck of a current coming right through here, don't you?
You can, yeah. But it usually don't last, because it's just wide open. It doesn't take long for it to go down.
Will these fish hold the structure with that current coming through here like that?
I haven't fished up very far north when it was like that.
Okay. There it is. It's a white crappie, huh?
Oh yeah. You wouldn't want to weigh him in a tournament. That's
no.
pound and a quarter probably.
You'll need a bunch bigger than that. Remind me to show you, I got a couple of pictures of some crappie. This lady from wherever Cameron, Louisiana is.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to slow the boat down, I'll watch my speed on my Garmin.
Yeah.
And when I'm trying to stop the boat, I never try to wash directly towards where the fish are. I try to just turn it, like wash away.
I got you.
Just turn it both ways to get it to stop, but not wash towards the...
Talking about prop wash.
Prop wash.
Yeah. There he goes. Bam. Looks good on screen, boy. There you go. Make the stringer there.
Missed my whole boat there.
That's 1 70 maybe.
It'd be close to 2. He's long. Not too. He's thick. Got a good belly on him.
Yeah, you're right. 194.
194.
7 of those would work. Look at that mud on his fins.
Nah, that's poop.
Oh, okay.
Got your camera on here?
Yeah, let me see. Get a picture of that. Yeah, that's awesome. 2 pounds. Jigs up, baby.
Caught him in 14 foot of water.
52 degree, 14 foot, and he was what?
Just off the bottom on a tree.
Do it again, Captain.
He was sitting. There's another one right there, right on the bottom. See, now that my jig's hit the water, I'll find my jig and find the fish, and I can make my adjustment by the time I get my jig.
Yeah, get down there to him. There he comes. Bam. Another good fish.
You want to weigh him in. Just gonna keep him. I got him kind of deep in the gills there. These fish don't look quite as healthy as those ones we were catching down the river, but I mean they're healthy enough.
I think you're talking about weight-wise.
Yeah, they're just quite as fat of belly.
Yeah.
Something hard, you know. I went from, we were panned down to 25 feet or whatever on the depth, and so everything's gonna look a little bigger. You can get your eyes adjusted to it.
Yeah.
In a tournament situation, I try to only ever have 2 settings. You know, if I was fishing like today, if we were going to fish up there for the tournament, fish here for a tournament, I'd try to leave this one on 20 and probably do that one on 25.
And try not to get too far apart on them instead of dial it in.
Different.
Yeah.
I try to go in 5 foot increments. I know some people say they just leave theirs on 20 all the time or whatever. See, I missed him, but I know I'm in the right distance and depth. So in this depth of water, I'll just pick my line back up. We've already got the right kind of line out. Put that back in there where he was.
Right in the fork, isn't he?
Should be right down in there, yeah. Should be pretty good because I just came down right there by him.
Flickering.
There he comes.
Yeah.
There he is. Got it. And I just had to hold his face there for a minute. I couldn't go nowhere because I was in the limb.
Boy, he is long, isn't he? 180?
180, bouncing back and forth.
Well, that's a 2+ fish easy.
182. Yeah, he'd probably be a 2-pounder on a cat, a certified tournament scale. That's a good fish.
Mm-hmm.
You might be all right with one of him if you got a kicker fish.
Yeah. Now, can you tell when you pick those fish up just like that if that's male or female?
You know, I can't. I would think he's a male because it ain't got no belly. They're starting to get pretty good eggs in them right now.
Okay.
I mean, I've been cleaning fish.
Already got them in.
They've already got quite a bit of eggs in them. On his nose, he's looking at it. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Here he comes. There you go.
That feels good. Real good if that's a crappie. Well, it's not that good. He's fat. Easy catch and release.
I grabbed it real hard when it came loose.
All right. Beautiful.
that'll probably diminish my trolling motor skills some once I get something like that, because I'll be hitting spot lock a lot. Versus I don't fish with spot lock hardly ever. Sometimes here in the summer on them brush piles.
Yeah.
You know, I'll hit spot lock. We'll be right over a bunch of fish, and I can tell my customers just pitch out there, and we kind of watch the jig as it's bouncing back and forth. You know, all right, hold it right in there.
So what do you do if it's a 10-mile-an-hour chop and you're pulling up the fish on structure? Do you stay on your trolling motor?
I do all the
Really?
time. Yeah.
Okay. I got to get better at that.
But I'm fighting the wind. You know, I'm over here fighting the wind, and then I go back to the jig and the fish, and so it's a constant battle to stay.
When y'all get in that type deal, are you just trying to get Todd in position to get on the fish, or are y'all both trying to get after it?
We're both still fishing.
Okay.
And now he can do his own thing. So like,
because he's got another scope.
he's over here with his own scope,
God dang
own
it.
foot pedal and everything. So he'll stay, like we find a fish, he stays on it. I may be fighting the wind, getting us in position. He's on the fish the whole time.
So do you ever see it when you pull up and you get on structure and all of a sudden he's found something over here and he can get on it that you're not even looking at?
Oh yeah, yeah. National championships, first time we started doing that setup.
Yeah.
And we was running into a buddy of ours. He was fishing down a tree line, and we were fishing down a creek, and they met right there. And so we kind of just started fishing parallel, and I was sitting there jawing with him. And Todd's like, dude, right there. Just, I had my pole over here like this to the left. I was sitting there talking to him. I was like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, dude, just drop your jig in the water. Drop your jig. And I'm all like,
And he was looking at it on
was
his
a
screen.
171. It was our second biggest fish, but he saw it. I would have never saw it. I may have went right past that fish because I was being an idiot and talking to my buddy.
Wow.
And but yeah, no, there's been times we've actually caught two fish at the same time.
So where do you put his graph?
His graph goes right here on a 12-inch ram mount arm.
So it's a little lower than yours.
And then I've got another ball that goes here with a 12-inch ram mount arm with an edge trolling motor on it. And so he pulls this chair over here like this.
And his transducer's on that trolling motor?
Yeah, it's on the trolling motor. So the trolling motor's sitting right here with that big arrow that the edge has on it.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting here. We went out. I found a bunch of fish. I literally picked him up Thursday evening at like 3 o'clock. We had to be off the water at 5, I think, or vice versa. I picked him up at 2 and we had to be off at 4. But I had found an area holding a bunch of fish. They were just fish. It's funny. They were just fish when I fished it. I never caught anything over 125. And so it wasn't a tournament spot. But I mean, I caught 20 in 30 minutes just running through there real quick.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, I got a spot right by the ramp. You know, I can get you over there and you can practice a bunch. You can catch 15, 20 fish and get used to it. And so we went out there and we messed with the adjustment on it and where the transducer was, and he got it down where he could pitch the fish and catch them using his scope. Not using mine at all, using his own.
That's awesome.
And he caught a 150 something and a 149, which were tournament fish. And that's where we went to end the tournament, and I wish we'd went somewhere else.
Oh, really?
But we did bump up from third to second in that spot because we gained about 0.10 in that spot. That's what we beat Kegel by, was 0.10.
Did y'all finish second in that?
We did.
And that was at what lake?
Darbone.
Darbone, okay.
But if I'd have known we had third in the bag and was going to get a trophy, I'd have went to the spot that I thought about going. That spot had let us down in the tournament a couple years ago, and it was a long ways, and I knew we were going to have to stop a bunch with people being near the boat lane, and I just didn't know how much time if we'd get up there with much time to fish it. And I only caught 2 fish in there, but they were both in the 160s, which were almost kickers in that lake. If we'd have went up there and caught one of those, we'd have won. we called like a 125 for a 135 in that last spot.
So did you take the prop off the other trolling motor?
Yeah, I just cut it off.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I got it from a dealership, and it was already half busted anyway.
So just cut that part off and just use the
took
shaft.
a hacksaw and cut the fiberglass right above the foot. If we ever use Todd's boat, see, there's a bunch of bait.
Look at the bait out here,
I don't
man.
know if there'll be that much up here because I think this is probably the concentration of the bait. I know there's some way down south because I fished down there, but this bait's headed north.
Headed back that direction.
Headed that way, yeah. This river comes out here like this and meanders over towards that point over there, and then comes back around and goes back over towards Pine.
Right. Yeah. It swings in there, kind of tight back behind the Pine Cove.
You can run to there. You can go around this point, go back out to the right.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I've just done it. I don't know.
That's what Jerry was telling me. As long as I hug that bank, you can go pretty much all the way to the back there.
You can go to the next point. Not this point,
but the next one.
point.
Yeah, and then you got to back off of it. Yeah.
There's guys that'll hug the bank and run down through there. I've seen bass guys do it, but man, there's stuff everywhere there.
I don't like that.
I think that guy's card you can buy for this lake, which is a good deal. I think it's only $35, $40.
Have you run on that card before?
I haven't, but I got buddies that have.
And they say it's
shows you
good.
how to get from here over to Flat Creek, which I don't even know how to do. He's got all the timberline marked, which, and then he's got some scattered trees marked too. William was, and I would say it's in this northern corridor, but he was saying another buddy, a guide, was saying like, man, take that one off there. That's my good tree. There's some sand bass or some hybrids.
So have these bait fish been all the way south and now they're coming back?
You know, I haven't fished up here a lot, so I don't want to
Hard to say
that they haven't already been here, but I would think they would have already pushed down, because I fished down probably a mile or two down from here, and there was a bunch back there probably a month ago. And,
so their next stop is going to be when the water gets warm enough. They're going to get in the mouth of those creeks and start going back up in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll push up, and then they'll, you know, they spawn right after the crappie. That's a good tactic too. I got an area that I catch staging females, fish moving in and out to spawn,
yeah.
Males and females, but a lot of females.
What's the difference?
That spot's good from mid-March to mid-May.
And what kind of difference in depth are you talking about?
15 to 6 to 15 foot.
Okay.
But those fish stay there, I think, after they spawn in that staging
They
spot.
just
because
live out there?
The shad move in there to spawn next. And so they're moving through that same creek, and they're in there thick. You can't even see your jig, they're so thick in there.
Really? Huh.
Now that's around the time that the pollen gets real bad in the water too. So that's, when that first happened, we all was like calling everybody. I saw it on Facebook too. Everybody was like, what's going on? You couldn't see your jig. It got so bad, like everybody thought something was wrong with the garment.
Okay guys, looks about watch. It's time to shut this down. I hope you have seen something that might encourage you to get involved in tournament crappie fishing. Please accept my apologies for some lack of expertise. This is my first stab at a YouTube video, and just as in our crappie fishing, I'm hoping it gets better with every tournament. My goal is to just bring you some information from some of the best guides that are part of the Crappie Anglers of Texas. It's a tremendous club. I understand it's one of the largest in the country, and trust me, there are some boys out there that can jerk perch. 2 years ago, I walked into this deal thinking I knew how to catch crappie, and I jumped off in Division I, and my son and I have slowly but surely been climbing the ladder a little bit. I know we're probably never going to be up there at the top end with these guys that are doing it every day for a living, but it has been a ball just trying to get in there and compete with them. We started off our first tournament with, we had one fish. My friend of mine and I decided we were going to fish tournaments, and we showed up at Lake Palestine thinking we were going to be right there as good as any of them. And when we had our one fish headed to the weigh-in line, we convinced ourselves that the bite was tough, nobody was going to do that good. And man, we got up there to that weigh-in line. The first stringer fish I saw was a 7-fish, 14-pound stringer, and I almost fell over. Came back the next month, I believe it was at Fort, same thing happened. And we learned after that the trick to it was not only knowing the lake and knowing where the fish are every day, but live scope. Once we got live scope on, then we have really started to learn that we didn't know anything about crappie fishing at the time. It has been a blast. I look forward to continuing to do this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Our next tournament's going to be up at Jim Chapman Lake, formerly called Cooper Lake, up in northeast Texas, and that'll be the March tournament. So I really hope that we'll be a little bit better versed in how to get all the camera going, the voices, the sound straightened out. I have a whole new respect for guys that turn these videos out. It is one thing to watch them on TV and think how easy it is. It's totally different to try to get your camera set up, get all the angles just right, get your sound where the wind doesn't just drown it out, and then also catch fish and get it on film. One thing I didn't have going this time, I could not get my active captain to work right. I have since got that fixed. So hopefully next video you'll be able to actually see the Garmin Live Scope screen along with the video and the catching of the fish. So, and thanks for putting up with us. Hope to see you next time. Until then, it's Jigs Up Crappie Fishing.